New year, new goals, new me. We all know how it goes. We set ambitious resolutions at the start of the year, and for a few weeks, we feel so motivated, we feel so on top of the world. We start thinking, actually, maybe this year will be different. But as the initial excitement slowly fades away, so does our focus, and eventually we end up dropping all of our resolutions. Does that sound familiar? Well, the good news is 2025 will indeed be different, because instead of just writing a list of unrealistic expectations and resolutions on a random piece of paper, today you're going to learn how to create strong foundations and systems to actually bring your dreams and your resolutions and your goals to life. I'm going to teach you the step-by-step tutorial for successfully setting, planning, and achieving all of your goals in 2025 using xTiles, an easier alternative to Notion, which is almost like a digital bullet journal meets an aesthetic Pinterest board. We'll get into all of that in a second, but before we jump in, if you're new here, please allow me to introduce myself to you. My name is Irene. I'm a mindset and mindful growth coach with a background in neuroscience and positive psychology, and I'd like to welcome you into your go-to space for creating a happier life. Here we talk about all things mindfulness, self-growth, journaling, planning, organizing, and a lot more. So if that's your vibe, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any future videos and resources. Okay, let's get into it. I know some people love New Year's resolutions, while others are not fans at all. Personally, I love planning, organizing, goal setting, and I'm a big believer that if you're not finding joy in setting and pursuing your goals, you maybe just don't yet have the right system in place to support you. And that is where xTiles comes in. xTiles is a super fun and easy to use productivity and planning app, which is just perfect for creatives and visual people. There is no learning curve, there is no complex databases, there is no complicated setups like in Notion. So within just a few minutes, you can have a fully set up and fully personalized system in xTiles. Let me show you exactly how it works. All right, let's get into the fun part. By the way, if you see me looking down, that's where my laptop is. Sharing my screen right now so you can see exactly how I'm customizing and setting up my xTiles system. First things first, I want to show you the templates page. xTiles has a lot of already made templates that you can choose from. They have daily schedules, productivity planners, monthly calendars, so you're always on track with your to-dos. They have second brain templates for you to organize all of your thoughts. They have recipes, they have class notes if you're a student. They even have business templates. So you have this business model one, they have interviews, they have business cases, they have project overviews, even onboarding as well. So templates for every aspect of your career or studies or business, which is so cool. They basically have, I feel like, a template for every single thing. So you can start with a blank page, or you can come to here, select one that you like, and then go from there. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Today, we want to build our own tool for planning and following through on our big dreams for 2025. And so I am going to pick this template right here, the long-term goals. This one has a lightning symbol next to it, which means that it is a premium template. I do have the premium account. You can use this with the free one as well. As you can see, you have a lot of options, but I really like this one, so I think we're going to use it. This is what the template looks like when you first select it, but of course we want to be productive in our own style, in our own aesthetic, so we're going to dive into the very fun part and edit this out. Starting with the cover, I want to change it, of course. I think the vibe is something kind of magical because of course we want to dream big. Next, we're going to change the title. So this one is for long-term goals, but we want to make this specific for 2025 goals. Changing the icon as well. You have all the emojis they can think of. I'm going for the butterfly, which if you follow me, you know this is like one of my favorite emojis ever. I use it all the time. Butterflies are a beautiful symbol of transformation. So 2025, a new era, new goals. Transformation sounds just right. This template comes with 4 cards. Let's start by editing them out. And this is one of the coolest things about xTiles is, like I said, you can personalize this fully to your own needs, but also to your own aesthetic. So if you press this button here, you can see you have all the options. The location of the icon, you can remove it, you can change the size of the font, and then you can even change the whole layout and the style of the card. And as you can see as well underneath, you have so many options for colors, and you can even select your own color, which is very fun too. If you've watched any of my videos videos or any of my content before, you're not gonna be surprised by the color that I choose. I mean, if you go onto my Instagram right now, you will automatically see what my favorite color is. You obviously don't need to spend this much time designing your space. If you spend just 5 minutes editing it out a little bit, changing the cover, changing the colors a little bit, really designing something that you love, you're most likely gonna use it more. Versus if you had a template that does not match you and your personality. Let's now edit the cards. Of course, this was for long-term goals. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, for each card, add one area of my life. So we'll start with personal, then wellness, and then career. I think I might even delete the fourth card, just because whenever I set goals, even monthly goals or weekly goals, it's always in these three categories. So for me, it makes a lot of sense to have just these three. Keep it very simple with, just to exemplify, well, 1, 2, 3. I'll copy that here. See, so simple, you can just copy and paste. I see they also have some images here. Of course, these ones don't really make much sense. So we can select a different one. Actually, I'm not gonna add any photo here. I'll show you why in a second. And now there's a lot of space. So I'm just going to shorten each little card. Do you see how simple this is? It's literally just drag and drop blocks. I can even move the card around. It's so simple. I love it. Here on the left, you have this bar, so you can see different things you can add. A table, for example, for a habit tracker, you might be building different types of lists. And add toggles. I love adding toggles because toggles you can hide. So for example, hello, you can press it, write something, and it gets hidden. Very clean, very organized. I'm actually going to move the cards a little bit more down because I want to add some extra things here at the top. So I could, for example, press and just create a different block. And here I'm gonna write word of 2025. Again, we're going to customize. There's this little hack that I want to teach you. If you hold Shift and press 7, you create a little dash. And here in this little dash, you see a list of all the commands that you can select, of all the different functionalities and things that you can basically select. So different types of text, you have bookmarks, you have tasks. Tasks is a very cool feature that xTiles has. If you select tasks, you can even add reminders to them. So that's really, really cool. Images, tables, quotes, dividers, different types of media, different types of lists, different embeds as well. So if you want to put a YouTube video, you can do that very easily. I'm thinking, for example, if you want to create a workout planner, you can select the YouTube videos with workouts that are going to follow that week. Options are basically endless here, which is the best part because it makes it super customizable to exactly what you need. Let's, for example, select the color banner, and here we're going to write ways to embody word of 2025. This is now entering a little bit on the coaching domain, but I love this exercise just to bring a little bit of more intentionality to your New Year's resolutions and plans. Ways to embody your word of the year. It's basically ways of being or different ways that you can practice your word. So for example, my word of the year of 2024 was up level. So how could I practice up leveling? I wrote down getting out of my comfort zone, building business foundations, and working on mindsets. If you press Shift and Enter, you create more space and more lines for these little notes. We still have some blank space. By the way, I love how the background has little dots. It really resembles bullet journal. But as I was saying, we have all this blank space, so we're going to select a little widget to add in there. And then lastly, we're going to create a final block right here to add our affirmation for 2025. If you're not familiar with affirmations, they're basically very positive statements that can help you rewire negative beliefs and just keep you motivated. So we're going to write something like, I can achieve anything I set my mind to. Beautiful, I love that. First page is done. Now I want to show you something really cool, which is when you press this button right here, you can add new pages while keeping everything organized in one. Going back to the templates, here we want to add a goal tracker. We have, for example, this one where you can break down every single goal into little action steps, adding obstacles, solutions, ways to measure, milestones, really breaking it down. And this is the key of growing and achieving your goals, and especially of my methodology as well, mindful growth, which is taking step by step, really breaking everything down so you can grow, so you can achieve your goals without the overwhelm, without having to sacrifice yourself to meet these resolutions. I also really like this one because this one, you have a table and you can organize your goals again into the different categories or areas of your life. But this one is specifically cool because you can select whether it's in progress, you can add a deadline, and you can visually see where you're at with that goal. So you also have that option. I'm going to use this goals action plan here. So here we are in the new page. So we're going to add here a goal. This one can be, for example, to read 6 books. So the goal is reading more, but more specifically, we want to read 6 self-development books. Time frame. To exemplify how this would work, I'm gonna put Q2. So the time frame is to read 6 self-development books between the start of the year until the end of Q2, which is June. This helps you break everything down. So if I want to read 6 books, I'm gonna say that I want to read 2 books every 2 months. So basically 1 book per month. This little reward box is such an interesting trick that you can use with yourself, which is to add a little reward. The journey and the process matters a lot, but if you have something very exciting to look forward to at the end, it's another incentive to keep you going, to keep you motivated. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. If I read then the 6 books, I am going to take myself on solo dates to favorites. It really can be something as simple as that. We're going to change the color though. On the action steps, I'm actually going to write book. A big part of taking action is clarifying precisely which steps you need to take. So here I'm going to start by clarifying which books I want to read. And then when the time comes, it's just reading. It's just reading. Potential obstacles, you can write here what could potentially get in the way of you succeeding. So we can write, for example, procrastination. Solution could be, for example, to track progress weekly. Another obstacle could be forgetting to read. A solution could be keep the book that I'm reading in that month in bedside table. Every time I look at the book on the bedside table, I'm being reminded, hey, you have this goal, do it. If it's out of sight, it's out of mind. The next little box says measure progress. I'm actually going to change this and I'm going to write here why this goal is important to me. Again, another part of mindful growth is having a clear vision and understanding why specifically you're doing what you're doing. Why specifically do you want this goal? Why read 6 self-development books? Why not read 3 story books? Why specifically this one? This is your why. This is what's going to keep you moving forward because you know precisely why you're taking these steps, why you're moving closer to this goal, why this goal even matters to you. Again, you can add an image. So for this one, it could be a book. It would make a lot of sense. And that is basically another page completed. Now, I want to show you one final page, which for your goals and for planning and for setting your intentions for the new year is a very crucial step. So again, we're going to templates and we're going to write vision board. This is the one that appears, quick use. We're just going to add to existing projects. I'm going to rename it. We didn't add the title here, so we're going to write 2025 goals. Now you can see a very easy vision board. This is a clear example of why xTiles is such a cool platform. If you've used Notion before, you know that if you want to add an image to your template, you need to edit it out before somewhere in another platform. Because once you add the photo, you cannot edit it. You cannot crop it, you cannot alter the dimensions. That's the photo you uploaded, that's the photo you're getting there. But here with xTiles, it's, like I said, a very visual platform, and this is a prime example because you can add the images and then resize them to meet whatever dimensions you want. So for vision board, the best tip I can give you is to, after you clarify your goals, go onto Pinterest and find images that visually represent the goals that you have for the year. And then you just come here, you press add an image, upload file, and you add it here. Having a clear vision in addition to a plan, those are the first 2 steps that you need in order to then start taking the action. By setting this personalized system, you're basically giving future you a chance at success, even after that initial New Year's hype fades away. Because it's not enough to just pick some goals and hope for the best. You also need to clarify precisely why you want to achieve them, create a very specific action plan, and then check in with yourself as you go. And this is how to plan and achieve all of your goals in 2025 using xTiles. If you give this app a try, it is quickly going to become your new productivity and planning bestie because of how functional and fun it is to use. And so you can have everything that you need in one place to make 2025 2025 truly different. I'm going to leave the link in the description so you can start using xTiles today. Happy planning, and I wish you an incredible 2025.